Butterfly, fly here with me.
Hi, welcome to the bedroom. This is my hangout in a moment with the winter coming. It's amazing, really, how timing is everything. And in this series or journey, in wanting to sing more and let myself get out there a bit in time, I've been really thinking about using songs that I've written to begin to put myself out. And I've been thinking about this for quite a while, and I think I might have said a little bit in a previous video, but I'm not sure how much I really said about it. But I really feel like it's time to really put myself out there and try and get reputation. Everyone has a dream, and when I was 16, my dream wasn't necessarily to be the pop star. As much as it's nice to have everyone hear your music and get that positive feedback when it's good, my dream was always to write music. And I've been writing music, and sometimes when you write music you can feel very protective of that music, and I remember on several occasions being told, I should go and sign up to X Factor and all that kind of stuff. But I always thought, I'd always got scared about the copyright stuff, because I wasn't sure how these people would use my music. Would they just steal my music and all that kind of stuff that you have, and particularly when these songs mean a lot to you. But actually, as part of this journey, as much as I've been kind of more open to maybe sharing my music, actually just in this process of really thinking out how music works in our world and works for me as somebody that listens to music, and the nature of our sincerity passing through, whether it's through ourselves directly singing a song, or whether it's somebody else introducing our song, or someone maybe taking a section of our song. How your contribution and your sincerity is there in the mix with anyone else that's involved, and it's really given me the encouragement to really not be afraid of how other people may or may not use my music. And it's not saying I don't be smart about it, because actually my dream, if I had a dream, is really to become a songwriter. And just even doing this project and really coming across people like Nick Kershaw, and Betty Boo, which I spoke about, and who's a real person, and these artists are still around writing songs. Many of these songs, somebody may have introduced it, like, I thought Ashes by Celine Dion could have been one of her songs, because she does write songs and they're wonderful, but that was written for her, and she introduced it through the Deadpool 2 movie, whatever. But the point is, there's someone behind that, and a lot of producers now are coming out to introduce more music, and collaborative work seems to be pretty popular nowadays. So I think I'm in a very good position to potentially jump myself into that mix, and the way I need to do that, or feel I need to do that, is to put a few songs out. Some as myself, singing the songs, some with other people singing my songs. Now my dream when I was 23, 24, when I was doing youth work early on, I had a dream, like a literal dream in the night, and it was relative to my youth work at the time, and I won't go into that whole dream per se. Maybe I'll do that another time. But what came out of it was a symbol. Something very significant in the dream was what I would call a pearl needle. They're the kind of things you'd use for sewing, where it's a needle with a pearl on the end. And this was a significant sort of thing in the dreams I had. They were very strong, powerful dreams for me at the time. But what made it even more powerful was the next day, when I was happened to be in a different town on a youth work conference. I had to stay in a bed and breakfast, and in the landing above the tea and coffee table they had was a china trough. This would hold flowers normally, and it was empty, and it was just sort of eye height, so you couldn't really see into it, but there was no flowers, and out of curiosity I stuck my hand in to see if there's anything in there, and there was one of these pearl needles. And so when I began to sing a load of songs and write loads of songs, that I was in about 2003, 2004, I was writing a lot of stuff that I was using as youth work. I had this idea of Pearl Needle Studios, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it whether it was going to be like a music studio type thing, or whether it might have been a studio for maybe helping young people get into music. There's lots of music projects used with youth work, so that seemed pretty possible. But whenever I've tried to make it work, it never seemed to quite work, or I couldn't quite get the bits together. But this journey and where I am right now, I think Pearl Needle Studios is going to be a writing studio, and a place where I can go myself to write a song or develop a song. Yes, it might start in the toilet or in my shower room, but you know, the idea is you have a place to kind of really draw it together, or a place where other people can come and get help with songwriting, or come if they're looking for songs that they want to, you know, take on for themselves if they're new artists and stuff like that. I think this is the idea I want to get into. But obviously, if I set up a studio and nobody knows I'm really good at writing, or don't value that, or can't see that, or don't know that, then I'm not going to use my studio and I won't be doing anything. But so my idea is, well, actually, if I can demonstrate my own capacity to write songs that are original and my own thinking, it's all possible. Now it happens that, you know, being a youth worker, you work with lots of young people who don't seem to have any potential other than maybe being available to play music. And I did a lot of bands and helped with local musicians that were young teenagers or early 20s. And as it happens, all those people have grown up with me growing up. Although I was older than them, obviously. But now some of those people are in really cool positions in the industry. So I've got a friend that's, you know, works with BBC Radio, and I contacted him. I haven't spoken to him in a little while, but we've been in contact via Facebook and liking each other's posts and stuff. And he is absolutely up to help me out, because a long time ago I allowed him to use some of my recording equipment that I'd purchased to put together some demos, and I put together as best demo I could, acoustic demos, and I even made him little CD covers and stuff like that, which I'd got into, illustrating a bit. And you know, when I contacted him recently and sort of shared my sort of, you know, my hopes, I guess, to get out like this, he was like totally up for it. He was like, yes, do you know what, because what you helped me do back then was a major beginning stepping stone into where I am now. And so he is really happy, if I've got the material together and the demos or the product, so to speak. He's happy to show it. Another young person that I met in a different town. He was a teenager in school, who I got to know through Circus. I won't say about Circus, that's going to be quite personal to him and his family, how I came to know him. But him and his family had gone through a hard time, and because of some of my experiences of life myself and what I shared with my youth work, it really helped this young lad to be able to support his family in difficult situations. And this lad was a musician and his family were musicians. And he had a dream as a young person to develop a music studio, which he has done. And I've just contacted him and asked him how he was doing and his family. Again, I'm in contact through Facebook and stuff. And this guy has fulfilled his dream. In fact, he's completed his studio and he's been running it for a while, and it's very well established. He has now passed it over, but retained the use of his studio if he wants to do sessions for a reduced rate, as long as he's involved in the technicality of the songs as an engineer or whatever, producer. And do you know what, it's perfect timing. It's been such perfect timing because I've contacted him and he is more than happy to help. And I can take an opportunity to put together some recordings of a quality level that I can put out with myself, or put out as demos for other people to use. And in this project, in this phase that I've been in, I've written the material in this phase. And the nature of these videos, I can even, to a degree, show the development of those songs and where they come from. And these videos are not for the many, they're for the few, even the one, if that one's me. But it's amazing, and I really feel like I want to, the recording of Butterfly that I use here it was recorded on a phone, and a bit of software on a computer enables me to kind of give it that kind of sound in a can kind of thing, and it seems to work for that pretty well. But to be able to produce that and record it in a proper studio with a really good technician that knows what he's doing to get the best crisp sound out of all that, it's going to be amazing. So I really want to use that song and get it out there. Three Pearls and Shroud of Diamonds, I think is, I sing it quite in my format and my style, but I did hear that there's potentially something a bit more rocky, a bit more fuller, so I might explore doing that as more of a band type thing. Upon the Black and White Bones, that is a piano piece that needs to be developed, and it happens that I've got a friend who's a very, very good musician. She plays the cello professional as can be, and is a professional celloist. But she can play piano really well too. And being a professional, she can also write the tablature and all that type of stuff that I can't do. But actually, I want to give her 2 songs, the Black and White Bones, for her to see if she can create a more, proper piece of music on the piano to support this song. And maybe have a whirlwind herself, go to town composing a more full sound if it was just a piano piece, for sure. And you know, these three things, you know, it happens that I've got a friend that's doing really well in a national singing competition. I won't say what country they're doing well in, but it happens that my friend, and I haven't said, but I think I'm going to put together with Claire my friend Claire is this professional piano player. I'll see if she can develop the sound of that piano piece and offer it as a demo or of a song that this person can use that's potentially about to break out big time where she lives, and see what lands. You know, 4 songs that can be recorded in a studio. You know, I think Butterfly is going to be fairly acoustic, maybe a bit lo-fi. You know, that's the kind of thing that's in at the moment. You know, these 3 things can just be a piano piece that's well recorded for someone to sing over, and maybe if this artist wants to take it on and fully produce it with more full sound, they can do that, and then release my own songs. Upon the Black and White Bones, I have got something else possibly in mind for maybe singing that and even maybe playing the piano on it, even if it's been developed by my friend that can write music. This other person would definitely be able to replicate that on a piano and maybe sing it. I don't know, that's got to be worked out, but I just think it's a plan forming, and it's a real opportunity. You know, I've got a studio, I've got a person in the radio business who is in good contacts, and certainly to put it out and see what you know, if it goes out on air and it gets a good response, you know, you're starting to feed in there. And you know, I've got plenty of other songs that I've written recently that I think would make a potential for an album if I wanted to put one together later on, to raise money and to raise my profile as a songwriter, to potentially set up this Pearl Needle Studios. And in the nature of that studio, I'd be quite happy to work with young artists who are trying to find their voice in song, and maybe sharing bits of this journey I'm on now to help them in that, because as a young person you're faced with, you know, an unknown world, however it works out, but even more so in music. And chances are these musicians are going to have similar makeups to me, and you know, maybe some of this journey might help them to get in there, get their music out, or give people hope to keep putting music out wherever it is. I don't know, it'd be cool. So I think I'm going to maybe develop some of the songs and put them out. My aim is for next summer, and I've got plenty of time between now and then to develop these songs and put together a really clear plan of what I want to achieve in the studio, so that I can get the best result out of it, and hopefully have something of a good enough quality produced to a good enough level to potentially play on the radio. Obviously put out through YouTube and all that sort of stuff as well. Maybe go to town on some videos, but we'll see. Maybe I won't have to. Maybe I can pick some of the good videos that I've made in this series, because there's plenty of really cool, natural, already amazing, just by looking at nature. But we'll see. I just got excited. A plan is coming together. It's good when a plan comes together. It's quite from the 18. On 8 is good. brilliant. Life is amazing, and if you hold on to your dreams, who knows what can happen. But my hope is that my songs can be songs of hope. Yeah, whether that's through my lips singing it or somebody else singing it, I don't mind. And this is a start. I'm going to get out singing and see what lands, see what happens, and see if this dream can come true. And anyone listening here can watch and see how it works out. It might do, might not do, but I don't know. I think it's the best opportunity I think I've ever had for having the right material and the right people in place, who are willing to help me as I've helped them, and that's a great place to start. I love dealing with friends, and don't really like doing too much business. But you know, while I'm learning the business, you know, it could be a good chance to meet some friends, have some fun with music, and just see what happens. Unknown songwriter. Who knows? Maybe one day I won't be unknown, or at least be known to a few, enough to be requested for me to help them with writing songs, which is something I've been doing forever. Writing songs with people. But here we go. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Between now and next summer, I'm going to start working on these 4 songs, alongside other songs I'll enjoy, but there will be a focus on these songs in the hope that I can make a dream come true. And any dream can come true. This guitar is a dream come true. As happens, this guitar was a broken guitar that was almost deemed unsellable, but it got fixed and I was able to buy it. This one was a dream. I'll explain that dream one day. It's very cool. Literally, a guitar in my dream became a reality, and I didn't even know that kind of guitar existed. So that's another story for another day. Brilliant. So this is me. Yeah, I'll still be doing this for a while now, just being me, just as me, and preparing myself and preparing things for a new chapter, one where I'm doing a lot more singing and really embracing my music and my own capacity to write songs and share music. That's the plan, that's the hope, that's the dream, and for once it might actually be part of the reality. Who knows? We'll see. See you later.
You